Hey you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Alma Hermosa, me in the flesh. And you are now tuning in to my book called The Men in My Closet. We are getting halfway there. But before we get into it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Yeah. So we're almost at the halfway mark of the book. It's getting a little tough. Those couple first chapters were okay ish, but we're gonna dive a little deeper. I hope you guys have noticed, like, I changed my settings. When it's a more serious chapter, I'm gonna be probably in my room or somewhere like that because I need some type of like security, make me feel a little bit more comfortable to express certain things. This next chapter, which is chapter 4, Mr. Trashcan, this is something that I have never told a soul. All right, so nervous right now. So nervous. Mr. Trashcan, like I said before, I was a CNA, and I went to this particular job and I started working there. For a while, I really didn't have anybody that I would talk to there. It was just like, work with the girls that I work with, and that'll be that. But as time went on, of course, like, girls started feeling comfortable talking to me and things like that. And it always would be like this one group of girls, and it would be one boy. Okay? So they all would, like, sit at the lunch table with me, and we would like laugh and joke. So it got to a point where like all of us like exchanged numbers and things like that, including the guy. The guy was like a real neutral guy. He was African or whatever. It's crazy because like I really don't remember his name, and you'll know why. Um but yeah, African guy. I think like his family owned a couple chain of stores or whatever in the city, and he was working there as an aide as well. He would flirt with me here and there, and I just thought like he was like one of those Roger guys, like from Sister Sister, like go home Roger type guy. So I really just really never paid him any attention. Didn't really care too much about him, to be honest. So they started going out, like, and I will always miss it because I had to stay at home with the kid. So yeah, so they will always go out and they will always come back and tell me. It's like, you gotta get out one day, get out one day. And I'm like, cool, like let's do it. So we scheduled a time to go out, and we were supposed to go down to a place called Shaco Bottom. So that particular night, like, I get my dress laid out. I had on a black dress with blue and black stripes or whatever, black shoes, black heels or whatever, hair all did up and stuff like that. So yeah. So as the night go on, everything's still on. By the time it was time to go out, like all the girls had like canceled. And no, all except one had canceled. So they called me or whatever, and her and the guy called me, and they like, well, since you don't know where you're going, we can come get you. Well, on the way from that, they had to split. So the guy, he was closer to me, so he was like, I'll come get you. And I was like, all right, cool. So we get down to the first place or whatever, and we're waiting for our other homegirl. She never showed. Like, I don't know what happened, but she never showed. So we're already out, and we're just like, we're gonna go to this place called Lucky Buddha's. So I was like, all right, cool, I'll go. So we get there, whatever, and I'm not gonna lie, like, it was awkward, but it wasn't awkward because I knew him. So, but it kind of still felt like I didn't know him enough, so I felt like I was actually like out alone, if you understand what I'm saying. So he was like, did you want anything to drink? And usually I'm just like, nah, like I'm by myself. I'm like, nah. So I was like, nah at first. He was like, no, come on, come on. Like, I got this drink. It's called a trash can. And I'm like, what is that? Like, what is a trash can? He was like, it's just like a whole bunch of liquors, like, put into one. So I was like, all right, cool, whatever. So I get the drink and I sip a little bit of it. I don't really sip a lot. And then he said he had to go to the bathroom. So I was like, all right, cool. So I follow him to like the part where it breaks off. So I stand there and I wait for him at the door or whatever. But while he was gone, I took the drink and put it behind the trash can. I just put it behind the trash can, like I just act like I drunk it. Why, like, as the doors were like flapping open, I could see like him and another like girl like kissing or something in the doorway. And at first I thought I was like seeing things, but then I was like, oh wow, like he's in there kissing this girl, like that's weird, yuck, whatever. So as he come back out, I just played like I didn't see that. But I thought it was like, wow, why would he just kiss a random girl like that? Like, what's up with him? But, you know, not judging nobody, but you know how they do. But anyway, so, so we go back towards the front of the bar or whatever. He was like, I want to get another drink or whatever. I want to get you a couple shots. I was like, all right, cool. I'll do shots or whatever. And I never forget, he was like, what do you want? And they didn't have anything I like but Crown Royal. So I was like, I'll get a shot of Crown Royal because, or 2 shots of Crown Royal because I don't know, and nothing else to get. So he was like, all right, cool, I'll be right back. So at the particular time, it was 2 bars. One was full and it was like a bar on the other side. And I watched him go over there and he was talking to the white guy or whatever. And he got the shots. So we get back, he comes back to me and we take the shots. Take the other shot. It gets really shaky after that. Like I have glimpses of that night, but I remember like feeling like a high energy, and like the music is like really like loud and the lights are like flashing really fast, so it's like a lot happening at one time. And I remember him spinning me around, and then the next time I wake up, I'm in front of my house in his car. I could not move. I felt so like dizzy, drowsy, and I'll never forget, like I looked up out of the window and I saw my neighbor's son. And I tried so hard to get him to help me because I know that he would have, but I couldn't get the energy to even get up out of the seat because the seat was like pushed all the way back, like the head of it was pushed all the way back. So he ended up like going in, he went in the house and he couldn't see me. And as I turned to look in the driver's seat, he was there. The guy was there. And when I looked at him, his pants were unbuckled, belt was unbuckled, and he was just asleep. And once I started to try to get out of the car, he woke up. He was like, come on, I gotta get you something to eat. I have to get you something to eat. Like, I have to get you something to eat. And I'm just like, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. Like, I need to just go in the house. I need to just go in the house. But I didn't have no type of energy to do anything. So he takes me, he ended up like, you know, getting me to a place where I wouldn't move. And he takes me to Denny's. And he's literally like holding me up to even get inside of the restaurant, because I can't walk, like I can't do anything. And I'll never forget the waitress looking at me, and she knew something was wrong. Like, she knew something was wrong, and she basically like was like asking me without asking me, and before I could even answer her, I threw up all over the I threw up all over the table. So, um, he like picked me up and um put me back in the car, and he drove me home. I was sick for about a day and a half. Like, I couldn't do anything but just sleep. And you know, for because of those 2 days, like, I really didn't have any time to think about anything. I was just trying to get myself better. Like, I just wanted to feel better. So once I got myself together, I started to look at my clothes. My clothes were ripped. My dress was like scratched up where it looked like somebody had like dragged me. My legs were bruised up. My arms were bruised up. And that's when like the flashes started to come. And I seen like little glimpses of that night where this man was touching me. Where this man had put something in my drink and took me to his car and took advantage of me. He he raped me. What's funny about it is I denied it. I tried so hard to like deny it, like say, oh well, it don't feel like no I had sex, so that didn't happen. That didn't happen. It didn't happen. You know, and I kept it to myself. And it wasn't until um I went back to work. I finally went back to work, and I didn't go to the doctor. I didn't do any of that because I was just like in denial. Like, I was in denial. Like, this didn't happen to me. No, that didn't happen. But every time I said it, like, those flashes were just like flashes of moments. Like, I can still see the color of his clothes. I can feel the way his shirt felt. I still can feel it. And it wasn't until I went back to work and one of the girls, me and her started to get really, really close, like just regular conversation. And she asked me, because she talked to me about something, because she felt like it was, I gave her safety. So I was like, yeah, let's talk. And she's telling me how they all had went out one night, and this is before I went out with them. They all had went out, and he offered her a drink. He offered her and the other girl a drink, and they all went back to her place. When they got back to her place, he brung out a bottle from his car and was like, we're gonna take more shots. The friend never got to take the drink, but she took the drink, and the same exact thing happened to her. I can't e- I can't even explain that feeling. It was like I want to be sad for her, but I'm also relieved because I'm not alone, and I'm not crazy, and I'm not tripping. And I just basically told her, like, it happened to me too. And like, we literally we literally cried together. And we didn't go to the police. We didn't go to the police because I don't know. I really don't know why we didn't go. But what we did do was we confronted him. He had the audacity to still come to work like nothing happened. He came to work, and we confronted him. And we told him if he did not leave, that we were going to report him. I never seen that man again after that. I don't even remember his name. I barely remember his face. I pushed that so far back in my mind that I literally forgot about it. The only reason why this even resurfaced, my emotions, my feelings, anything I had behind it, got triggered when the Cosby thing came out. And I never forget like watching it on the news, and it triggered me. And it was like, oh shit. Have I forgiven him? I'm working on it. But it wasn't my fault. I hated myself. I hated myself. I didn't even, like, I've always had, like, confidence in thinking I was pretty. I didn't want to be pretty anymore. I didn't want to be. It even, just hearing about victims, seeing it, and knowing that I am one. Like, I never wanted to be called that. I never wanted to be deemed that. But it happened.